I didn't purchase the Legacy Builders program because I bought into the whole make $900 a day hype. I had stopped looking for six-figure strategies more than a year earlier when I surrendered my dream of having an online coaching business to the "it ain't never gonna happen" gods. The only reason I bought the Legacy Builders program was because a friend of mine made what I thought was a really stupid decision. She was in a tough financial spot, and I was worried she'd wasted her money. And clearly, I thought it was my job to rescue her. Yeah, I have my critical and judgy moments, just like most people. I'm not proud of it, but I do like to keep things honest. Once I had the program, I figured, well, rather than waste my own money, I might as well just put a little time and effort into it to see what it's all about. I'm semi-retired. What else did I have to do with my time? And so there I was thinking I'd signed up for some super hypey make $900 a day program. But what I found instead was a structured step-by-step experience that finally helped me understand how social media marketing actually works. Like I said, I wasn't looking to break into the six-figure income range. I had never earned more than $55,000 a year in my working life. But it would be kind of sweet to earn an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month, right? But more importantly to me though, I was just hoping it would show me how I could share my work, my heart, in a way that felt meaningful and magical, rather than pushy and forced. And I have to tell you, if I had known about, or if this program existed back when I was trying to grow my coaching business, I think it would have helped me get it off the ground. I know that it would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. So in this video, I'm sharing 5 things you need to know before you say no to Legacy Builders. If you're curious, cautious, or confused about how this whole social media marketing thing actually works, this video is for you. Point number 1, you don't have to believe that $900 a day is possible. When I first peeked into the Legacy Builders program, I felt a little out of place. I saw people talking about earning $900 a day, hitting 5 figures in a month, and quitting their jobs within a few months. And don't get me wrong, if that's your goal, great. But that just wasn't where I was mentally, emotionally. It's not what I needed, what I wanted. So I wasn't sure I even believed that it was possible for the average person to accomplish those things. I wasn't trying to build an empire. I wasn't chasing a dream of becoming a millionaire. But I was curious. I was curious about how social media marketing actually works. Curious if there was a way to talk about things that I care about and actually have people respond. So here's what I want you to know before you say no to the Legacy Builders program. You don't have to make $900 a day to get extreme value from this program. You don't even have to want to make that much money. You just need a spark of curiosity and a willingness to explore without feeling pressured to achieve those monetary goals. Legacy Builders works because it gives you something to practice with, something to learn from, something to try without having to create everything from scratch. And if you're curious about how an online business actually works behind the scenes, this is a really good place to start. Point number 2, it's a learning lab, not just a business in a box. It seemed like I was buying a ready-made business, and technically I was. This is an automated business system I could just plug into, follow a few steps, create a few videos, and boom, customers, income, success. But for most people, myself included, we didn't experience a boom, we experienced a fizzle. But what we got, if we're willing to explore what else is there, is so much better. Because with Legacy Builders, we get a learning lab. It's a space to experiment, to observe, and to develop the real skills that we've been lacking. So I wasn't just copying what someone else was doing. I was learning how to do it. I was learning to create content. I was learning to talk to my audience. I was learning to connect in a way that actually felt like me. Legacy Builders gave me that structure to work within, but it didn't box me in. It gave me a process, a proven process, but it left room for me to shape it with my own voice, my own energy, and my own vision. So if you're the kind of person who wants to understand the why and the how, and not just mindlessly follow some proven steps, you need to know that this isn't just a program. It's more like a playground. It's a playground for personal growth and professional development. It's an opportunity to build something real for and from yourself. And here's point 3. You can separate the pressure of having results from the practice experience. So one of the things that always threw off my momentum every time I started to feel like I was getting into the flow was how emotionally vulnerable I felt promoting my own work. It wasn't just, here's what I offer. It was more like, here's a piece of my heart. Please don't stomp all over it. And when people didn't respond, it hurt. It reinforced that lifelong feeling that I've had of being invisible, of being overlooked. So it didn't just sting, it really shook me to the core. And what Legacy Builders gave me was a way to learn how to market online courses without all of that emotional weight. I was practicing marketing by talking about someone else's program. And that meant I could focus on learning the skills. I could focus on building trust with my audience and showing up consistently for myself and my audience without wondering, if they reject my program, are they rejecting me too? So there's something truly liberating about practicing with a product that you're not emotionally attached to. And I really love the Legacy Builders program. If Sally Skeptic doesn't believe it can work, I think she's wrong, but it's not a big deal, right? So if you've ever hesitated to talk about your own programs or services because it makes you feel vulnerable, and so you don't take the time, make the commitment, be consistent promoting your own services, this is the type of practice that you actually need. Point number 4, results can take time. It took me 8.5 months to make my first sale. It wasn't because I wasn't doing the work. It was because I was doing deeper work than I realized. Yes, I was learning new skills, but I was also reframing old beliefs, letting go of perfectionism, learning how to feel relaxed and comfortable on camera. And that takes time and it takes practice. At first, my content felt, let's say, a little safe, a little bland. I was talking about Legacy Builders just like every other new student was. I was focused on kind of the golden points, the 2-hour workday, the 100% profit, the no networking or selling to friends and family required aspects of this program. But that content I created in the early days, it was more focused on the potential income that I could earn. And that was never where my heart was. I was probably 4 or 5 months into the program when something clicked for me. This wasn't just an online business program. This was more like a social media marketing internship. It was an opportunity to learn by doing, with guidance, with structure. And that's how I've treated the program ever since. Except when I start to take things too seriously, and then it becomes my playground. So now I stay focused on the skills that I want to learn, on the content that I want to create for the people I want to serve. But when you're just starting out, finding your voice, still figuring out what feels aligned, it can be really hard to do when you're focused on transforming lives or earning income. This keeps things separate. Now, I get that it's important and that you want to get out there quickly to make your impact on the world. But speed, it doesn't always mean satisfaction. It doesn't always mean results. Time is going to pass, and your dream can become more vivid every day when you start discovering what brings you joy about and within that dream. And the contrast of what you don't enjoy, that becomes part of your guidance system. All of that, though, takes time. But that doesn't mean that you're failing. It means you're learning what truly lights up your soul, not just what you think lights up your soul. Point number 5, reselling this program isn't the long-term goal, but it is a brilliant way to practice. When I first started Legacy Builders, I really didn't see myself hanging around for very long. I wasn't interested in building a business around selling someone else's course. And as I said earlier, I had given up that dream to be a coach. But it seemed like it would be a fun and interesting thing to practice. And that's exactly what this program gave me. It's a low-pressure way to try things out, to promote something that's real, to create content around it, to walk through the full marketing process from interest to invitation to follow-up. So it was like being handed a fully stocked kitchen so that I could learn how to cook without having to grow the food, design the menu, or open a restaurant. And that practice, it helped me determine if I wanted to keep doing this. And obviously the answer is yes. So reselling someone else's product, that's not the point of this program. It doesn't have to be the point of this program. But it is a brilliant way to learn how to promote anything, including and especially your own courses, your coaching programs, and your healing services. But you don't have to start from scratch. You just have to start with something that you find valuable enough to share. So here's what you need to know before you say no to legacy builders. You don't have to chase a big, seemingly impossible income goal. Sometimes simple curiosity and a desire to learn something new is a great place to start. You don't need to treat this like a forever business. You can treat it like a learning lab, like an internship. It's a place to explore, experiment, and evolve. You can be emotionally separate from the offer that you're making, because sometimes it's uncomfortable trying to learn marketing, and having that disconnect makes it so much easier. And even though your ultimate vision is to have your coaching, healing, or course creating business, it's okay to learn the marketing skills first and separately from it. And results may take time. But your transformation begins the moment you stop focusing on the outcome and stay committed to the process. And while reselling this program, it isn't the destination. I get that. I don't want that for you. It could be a bridge for you and for your future clients, because some of them are going to say, how do I get into doing this same type of transformational work? And this program, it can be a resource that you recommend to help them get started with the marketing side of their business success. And perhaps the most important thing you should know before you say no to legacy builders, it's this. Your dreams are valid. Your fears, your doubts, they are not facts. They just have louder voices than your whispering voices of clarity and curiosity. Whether you've heard of Legacy Builders program before or not, if you're skeptical but also secretly curious and hopeful, if you've been wondering if this is all hype or if it could actually be helpful, just know this. You don't have to be ready for a big, bold business. You don't have to have it all figured out. And you definitely don't need to start from scratch. You can learn these skills. You can grow into the version of yourself who shows up confidently online. And you can do it in a way that feels aligned, supported, and sustainable. If you're ready to start mastering the marketing side of success without feeling all the pressure, there's a link in the description where you can learn more about the Legacy Builders program. And if you're curious, if you want a glimpse of what I thought about this program when I first started it, check out this video. I created it when I was about a month into the program. Compare what I said then with what I'm saying today, almost a year later.